If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, should you use profanity with your clients, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so here's the thing. You may or may not choose to partake in using fancy language with the people that you meet with, and I will share a couple of instances with you. Here's my belief. My belief is you have a persona, you have an air about you that when you meet with people, they either like you or they don't like you. And that squeaky clean image sometimes will help you be a little bit more persuasive. And there have been times where I have ridden with salespeople. There have been times where I have ridden with technicians, and they have chose to partake in using some language which would be considered colorful. Now, me personally, I'm going to share with you the reasons why I wouldn't do it is because, one, you don't know who's listening. Two, it may be a test. Three, what does the image of your company want? And when you take a look at all four of these, does it really help you when it comes down to everything's being done? And like, some people are like, hey, Scott, you know what? I'm going to say and do everything that I want. And I'm a grown adult, and I really think that at the end of the day, I can make this decision on my own, which is true, but there is a couple of ramifications that you need to know about. And some of them have nothing to do with you. Your company has spent a lot of money on advertising, on marketing and image and design, and it may have personal and guarantees and warranties. And one of those guarantees that, you won't be foul-mouthed and cursing inside of the home. These things really do matter when you are working to persuade with people. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discount training. It's an email publication, right? You get emails from me. You should do that. So let's say that you go to Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones' house, and you're having a conversation, and they use all of the good words, right? And in your mind, you're like, hey, I think I should do the same thing. I was with a technician one time, and homeowner was a dude, and he had what my grandfather referred to as Navy language because my grandfather was in the Navy. And so the guy, homeowner, Navy language, Navy language, Navy language, technician, Navy language, Navy language, Navy language. And then here's what happened. Over the fence, because we were in the backyard, mama with the little tiny kid overheard what was going on and looked outside, found the company name, called the company and said, hey, I don't appreciate your technician coming out here and using Navy language, okay? Call that I was on, I was being vetted by the homeowner. The homeowner was like, every other word that they used was a good fancy word, as I'm going to refer to it as. And it was kind of weird. It was like they kept trying to get me to partake and join in the same language as them, and I wouldn't do it. And at the end of the call, the homeowner said, Scott, I was testing you to see if you would live up to the image of your company. And you guys were everything you say you were. I was testing you to see if you were going to curse. So when I say sometimes that there's going to be people who are going to test you to curse, like there are, okay? And then last on this list, we've slightly talked about this. Your company has an image to uphold. And so there are times where people are like, let me see what I could do to try to get you to bend the rules. And if you're going to bend this rule, what other rule are you going to bend? Me personally, in front of a room, if I'm coaching, if I'm training, I don't curse for the reason that there's an image that I am working on upholding. And maybe outside of that room, I might curse like a sailor, right? Outside of that meeting, I may use all the good words. I may use all the good language, but in front of clients, I wouldn't do it. Right? It's a matter of purpose. It's a matter of intent. It's one of those things where it's super importante to me personally that I have a persona and I have an image. Now, I'll tell you a story. I do have a friend, and this friend was on a call, and homeowner was egging this friend on and got the friend to curse and ended up closing the deal. So are there instances where this does work to your favor? I'm going to say that there are. But there's also a lot of downside. So you would have to really know your client. And if you're brand new into the world of sales and you're like, I'm going to curse like a sailor and like, okay, right? Just be aware that there is some negative connotation that comes to that, and it can cause you some problems. You got one of three things to do from here, just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.